Hi, Jess.
Hi, Lauren.
Welcome back to Conspi-Reality. It's been a while, Jessica.
It has. Summer just gets away from you.
And I still need my beach body. I mean, what happened to that?
Maybe next year. At this point, I'm like calling it a wash. I mean, bring on the sweaters, the jeans. I'm over it.
Jessica, I'm seeing a lot of Halloween ads already on Insta. I'm not quite there.
I'm not going to lie. I'm already like, what should Hope be for Halloween?
Oh, yeah.
I've been thinking about it.
Okay, well, we'll have to hear about that. So because we haven't met in a while, tonight we have to go back to In the City reunion.
We're still not done.
We're still not done with them, which when that finally did end, there was a variety of posts that were people were just like, we're done with them, we're done.
But have you seen rumors that
he's
Wes
coming back, Jessica?
Of
course. We knew that was gonna happen though. I think you and I called that like way back. We're like, he's coming back to In the City.
Yeah.
He's not going to leave TV. Come on. So we're going to do In the City, then we're going to do Real Housewives of OC, then we're going to go to The Valley, and then Next Gen. I still think Next Gen is a breath of fresh air. It's just like an easy 20-year-old, like they're in New York in the fall. Like it's super nostalgic of like what you did during that age period.
Yes. No, I love it.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I know. It's great. Like nostalgia. Not that I ever lived in New York, but I totally agree. Fall time, living in a city and like being broke, but trying to still party and like kind of live outside your means.
And having delusions of grandeur. The idea that they're all going to be a fashion designer or a club owner you're like, okay.
This group especially.
Yeah. Right, totally. So Bravo in the headlines. Let's talk about a couple separations. So you and I were in Vegas last weekend and we saw this all over Instagram. Angie and her husband, what's his name? Sean have separated. And you saw that it was because he was having a relationship with somebody in their salon.
I might have been a few drinks deep in Vegas when we uncut.
Yes.
I didn't know it was for an affair.
Well, that was obviously the rumor mill is churning.
Lisa Barlow put that out there.
Yes. So for those that didn't see, Lisa Barlow, who's been constantly under scrutiny that her marriage is going to fail, threw up the day that the news broke. She throws up a Vita Tequila, no less, an ad for Vita Tequila of her and John, like almost like
partners in everything. Or like,
Jessica, like almost like a 1980s like CD cover. Like if they were announcing a single, I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like it looks like, the days of Whitney Houston. Like it was so crazy, so shady.
And Whitney, right? Was the news where I was like bang bang of two Salt Lake couples.
Which Justin, by the way, is now posting stuff on Instagram of how he's getting his like body together, how his arms now have like muscular.
And I saw, who knows how rumor, whatever it was, but it was also Justin being really frustrated at Whitney. Allegedly, she would come home and drink like a lot of wine and pick fights, but bringing up all the old stuff all over again. And he'd be like, thought we worked through that, but then you drink and it's still a problem.
Totally. So. I think Whitney drunk is one of the most annoying housewives out there. Dorinda is top one. Whitney is like a little bit of a repeater. She loses her train of thought and she's highly combative. Can you imagine that every night, Jess? Other things, speaking of heavy drinkers, Wes, did you see this whole weird debacle that happened with Amanda on her birthday?
Oh, the post with the heavy Photoshop.
Jessica, heavy Photoshop. But he replaced her body with like an avatar that looked like Leva.
They are doing these posts. I bet she was sitting next to him and he went, do you think this is funny? And she's like, that's hilarious. Post it. And they just knew it would get a ton of attention.
Yeah.
They're like, we're so funny and like lighthearted and don't even care. First he said homeboy or twin.
Homegirl. No, he said
homegirl.
Right.
Sorry, homegirl. And then twin. And it was like, oh, okay, well that part threw me. The like taking down and redoing with a new word, knowing everyone was gonna see the first one too.
It's giving like that he's missing being on TV.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's missing the attention that he's not going to be getting from all the ladies this upcoming. So he's like, I still need media attention. I need some attention.
The avatar on her that feels like Amanda was like co-signing it.
Yeah.
The word switch feels like that was
Like,
Amanda being rude to him about it.
You know who the avatar actually looked like?
Who?
Lenny Hochstein's ex-fiance. That girl that would use so many filters.
And she's beautiful, by the way. I mean, the avatar was beautiful. That's the other thing. It didn't look, if some people were saying, well, if this is Wes's dream girl, it doesn't look anything like Amanda.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, interesting thing. So Katie DeLuca has like come out and confirmed a bit more of what her participation was in the city. She was obviously not in the reunion.
I saw she posted behind the scenes of like stuff that didn't make the cut.
And she was kind of everywhere, which we've been hard on her, especially in her, probably recent tragedies of miscarriages. Right. And basically, the net, did you see this? Is that she filmed a bunch of scenes with Amanda and all of them got cut.
So it's just producers deciding she wasn't relevant.
Jessica, yes, because think of probably what happened. That entire In the City season was Amanda's swan song. She's a phoenix rising from the ashes of this terrible marriage. Yeah. And so there was probably a ton of those convos between her and Katie where she was crying and they were like, girls just like want to have funning like in the city and all this stuff. And the producers had to go back once the news broke of her and Wes and cut all of those.
That tracks. Yeah.
And then
it didn't fit the narrative anymore because Amanda was hiding all this other shit and the marriage was a sham at that point.
And Jessica, we were not going to watch that without massive hate. And then I think the financial, the suits kick in and they sit there and they're like, so do we really need to pay Katie DeLuca if she's only in this one 30-second group shot? And then they really trim her out because they don't want to financially have to pay her for the friend of appearances. The last thing I'll tell you about, or two last things, you see Sierra and Shabuzi seem to be dating.
I still can't tell if it's a huge push for that song and music video because we've been fooled by co-stars before where you're like, they're totally dating and it's just for their freaking movie. So I'm like, do you go that far, though, just for a song? Like, do artists do that? Like, musical artists?
Well, she posted behind the scenes, I think, because she came out for something with him.
Jimmy Fallon, he performed.
Okay, right. And then she posted behind the scenes from it. There was one very silhouetted shot that it looked like they were kissing, like fully kissing.
They hold a hat up so they could be cheek to cheek. I watched it. Everyone's like, Shabuzi and Sierra kiss on stage. And it's literally them going in, holding a cowboy hat to the audience, and they go like that. It's like, they could be doing anything behind there.
Right. They could be whispering, like, I hate your outfit. So Shabuzi, I don't think is her type.
Your breath smells.
Yeah, right.
Are we done yet?
Do it for Wes. Like, the thing up in front of her face. The thing is that I don't think Shabuzi is like her type at all. I don't picture her with him.
No, probably not.
I'm sorry, like I hate to say it, but like his super long hair, like he is to me artsy fartsy. Like his quote was literally, Jessica, like I had never heard of the show, but Sierra's name kept coming up. And of course he was like, she's beautiful, so let's do it. But
like let's cast her.
Yeah, to not like hear of the show, even boys who only watch sports had heard of what was going on with this. I don't picture her with that. I picture her with like a power couple.
Well, he's on the rise in the music industry, so.
Jessica, it's nepotism at its finest. His godmother is Dolly Parton.
What? I didn't know that.
Yes, there's this like great interview with him where he's like, no one's ever helped me get to where I am in life. And then it's like later on, it's like your godmother Dolly Parton. It's like, oh.
So that means his parents are in the industry in some way. You don't just pick Dolly Parton if you don't know her. Like.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I did not know that about him. All right.
Okay, last thing, Lala and Sally's podcast. Have you listened to this at all?
No.
Well, it's a little counterintuitive for me to be promoting another podcast on our podcast, but Jessica, you must. It is the new.
Really?
Yes, it is the new Call Her Daddy. The amount of sexual talk that it goes on in that podcast.
And they just spill it all. Are they naming names?
Everything. Her and Austin, her and Kyle, her going to the summer house this weekend, her considering having a threesome with Ava Dash, who Kyle's clearly hooking up with. Like, she just spills it. Who they're having unprotected sex with, who they're having sex with. Like, it's just like,
Who's Lala doing it with? Anybody we know?
No, nobody that she would reveal, but it's clearly high profile because the way she talks about how the guy flies her out and then they're in Vegas and then there's a big bus of girls that pull up. So, I mean, you could probably narrow it down. I have no time for that. No offense, Lala. I don't care that much. But, Sally's like, the juice is just like spilling out.
Okay.
It's crazy.
I'll give it a listen.
Let's jump into In the City.
Yeah.
So let's talk about first overall thoughts, Amanda and Lindsay. Amanda is much better. I will give her that credit. She's much better. But to me, Jessica, there was this whole thing throughout the entire In the City reunion of like the people who have been on TV before versus the people who are not. And the people who have been on TV before, Lindsay, Amanda, even Kyle, at some points, I'm like, you guys are too much. Lindsay Hubbard was too much the entire In the City reunion.
Yes.
And I don't know if you saw, Kenny was on Nick Vile's podcast and he's like, oh yeah, we all knew like Lindsay showed up to like work.
Yeah. That's my problem with the people I'm finding on across all these shows that I'm not liking. It is always that I'm clocking you're being too obvious that you're trying to make a moment.
Yes.
I still need the sliver of pretending this is real life when I watch this.
Agreed.
And Tamra Judge, you're doing it for fucking moments. I know you are. Shannon, you don't trip that much. Fucking stop.
Right.
I'm getting into OC, but like I have so many people
No.
on every show, and they're the ones that pissed me off with that. We were just before we started filming, Jasmine on the Valley. You're doing it for a moment. I can't with these people.
Because here's the thing, right? Like this is the
and
difference.
Lindsay's pissing me off.
Lindsay,
She's being extra.
Well, and you can be good TV. You can be interesting and be good TV, or you can be combative and be good TV. And I feel like Lindsay is no longer interesting because for some reason she's deciding not to share anything that's really going on with that Turner, and like only shows us very slivers of her dating life, which we know there's a lot more to Lindsay Hubbard than that. So she's choosing combative, and instead of being like medium combative, she's like upping the ante each time.
Yeah. I think someone found, I didn't notice it in the moment of watching it, but someone, of course, noticed that when Lindsay made the comment of, I cried for 6 months after what you said, Whitney, Andy rolled his eyes.
Like the biggest eye roll,
like he was like, really?
It's so hyperbolic. I thought Kenny, and someone wrote this, Kenny, like people are not on his side. He's the first dude I've ever seen stand up to Lindsay where I'm like, oh, you've kind of got her in a little bit of a box.
Yes. You can tell is intelligent.
Yes.
So he can figure out the logic she's using and turn it on her. He's got her clocked. And like we've said before, he is so even-keeled. You always seem like you win the argument when you're not the one shouting. And Lindsay is just shouting over people. And he's just sitting there unbothered, and it pisses her off so much.
Jessica, I mean, this is a little bit of a hot take. I posted on this, which we need to talk about for 1 second, but I felt a little charge between Kenny and Lindsay. Like, did you agree? I feel like they would F if Whitney was not ever present around him.
Oh, yes. No, I 1,000% agree. I think thinks he's like very attractive and there's underlying tension to their arguing.
Yes. Jessica, I totally agree. They had that close moment on last season. And then if you remember, I never talked to you about this, but when they went to their final Friendsgiving thing, they were weirdly dancing very close with each other in those like final scenes of the B-roll of everyone partying.
Kyle was DJing.
Yeah. And okay, so then this is my other piece of evidence. So for those that didn't see, because you don't follow every damn thing I post like I do, but Lindsay commented on 2 of our posts. We've made it, Jessica, right?
Yeah.
They were very benign comments. In one of them, I said, like, here's 3 things that I thought were really weird during the reunion. And I was commenting about how she kept bringing Andy in on her, like, mom card business. Then I also said, did you see there was a charge between Lindsay and Kenny? Didn't comment on that part. Didn't say like
only the parental part bothered her.
She was pissed that I was talking about her parental antics in the reunion, but the Kenny part she left completely alone. So I was like,
oh yeah.
So either she didn't watch the whole video, or she's like, yeah, I'd fuck him.
Or she's like, I'm not going to touch that one because she's onto something.
Right. So speaking of sets, let's talk about Amanda. So Amanda, this entire time, first of all, she kind of like admits to what's going on with her and Wes, which I found to be so annoying. They're not going out much. They haven't said I love you, but then she like jokes that they said like illy. I know. I've never heard about that. She was not happy.
Illy? I-L-Y?
Like I love you, illy.
No, I know, but you've never heard of illy?
Oh,
like
no.
A text?
Not in like our adult, like, do you text that?
I'm just up on the Gen Zers, so I know what it is.
I had to look it up. Amanda's whole strategy this reunion is to bring up all these like very like bad lover moments of Kyle.
Yes.
And like expose him with Sally, which it's like again, if we didn't have all this, what happened, that would have been a good strategy. That was like last year's strategy, and that was like a good strategy back then. But now it's like, Amanda, literally Lala has said, Jessica, that Kyle Cook is the best sex Sally's ever had. And Amanda's like sitting there saying how poor of a lover he is and like how he didn't put in any effort and all this stuff. This doesn't add up, Amanda.
I know. She's just grasping at straws. And like you said, she's still following her old playbook of all the years gone past where she got a DM and now she's ready to spill that Kyle cheated. And we're all sitting there going, I actually don't care anymore.
Well, can we talk about
something? If she didn't refute it, I know stuff gets edited and cut, but if it's true, they had sex 3 times in their entire marriage. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I would agree with Amanda of like, men have a problem where they do nothing and then they come in at the end of the day and they're like, I've done nothing and not paid attention to you for the entire day, but now are you in? Yeah. I get that. I actually related to her on that. Yes. But also there's a point of like, he is also an entrepreneur and you weren't working.
I know. I need to know how she passed the time. And it truly, like, you couldn't find 2 further on the spectrum of someone with drive, passion about something and someone who didn't
care at all.
I'm not on the Kyle side.
Well, the other thing too, I'm still like a little bit scratching my head. I feel like her story on the cheating changed every time she was asked. Like it was like, well,
couldn't track.
So I got a DM and it was a video of them making out, and then it was like, oh, I got a DM, and
you were close talking.
Yes, it was close talking, and then it was like, oh, but I have confirmation that you had sex with somebody else by a friend of a friend. But when did you find that out, Amanda? Oh, recently, like a week ago. It's like,
and again, so now of all the 10 years of your relationship, the amount of like speculation and stuff you chose to ignore, but you just got divorced or you're in the middle of divorcing and you're now believing a friend of a friend. What happened to like the fans making this shit up?
I know. And then she also tries to nail him on Kyle wants a walk away divorce, but then he's asking for things and he was rattling up the things and it was like
stuff out of my
it was like Amanda.
And he goes, and I pay your health insurance still. And she went, thank you for that, like sarcastically. I was like, he could cut you off.
I already feel like the tides are turning on Amanda. Like, don't you feel like your cold heart is softening a bit on her?
No, Lauren, it's hardened more. She annoys me so much.
Like, Jessica, I am already soft on her. I'm like, I don't know why.
I'm shocked.
I know.
I feel like you would normally be more. I'm so annoyed by her. Yes, it's just like fizzled out because as we've said, I'm just so glad this season is done. I don't even need another rehashing of their relationship of anything. So like, please, can we never talk about Amanda and Kyle's relationship and what happened? And her and West, even though it seems like we're probably going to get that on season 2 of In the City.
The part that I'm now annoyed about, Jessica, is less about Amanda and Wes and more about that she has manufactured a situation where she gets Kyle still loving her from afar, coaching her, probably helping her with business deals still, looking out for her. And then she also gets Wes. Like, I was like, Kyle, can you draw a harder line in the sand between you and her? As she like takes him to task on TV. Like, I can't relate.
Georgina said it. She's like, Kyle, can you just admit you came out beautifully in all of this? Like, you were about to be canceled. And he is still following his PR or publicist's playbook going, don't be too hard on her or we're all going to remember how you treated her.
Right,
so
right.
He is still trying to be the most amicable divorcee man, and he's out having his fun, and everyone's like, go Kyle, go get it. But we're all forgetting how horrendous he spoke to her.
Other things, Danielle.
She got a lot of airtime.
Jessica, that
right?
is literally the nicest thing you could say about the situation. She got a lot of airtime, Jessica, and she got an apology from Amanda on the home wrecking stuff.
Yeah. Because Amanda suddenly understood how the media can turn on you.
Jessica, that's such a good point. Like, Amanda was like, well, upon reflection, it's like, no, Amanda, upon everyone and their brother turning on you, you realized how detrimental this stuff can be. Like, because
as not accurate as it was, but they viewed you as a home wrecker between West and Sierra. They were just hooking up. Like, well, let's not admit they weren't married, they weren't whatever. But like, you were labeled the other woman, and now you know what it's like when Danielle was actually being labeled that in a marriage, like the other woman. Like, she broke that up.
The table has never been set for Danielle in a way that it was set for her during this reunion, meaning like she could have taken Amanda for task for all of the Amanda problems she's had in the past. Like, Lindsay, like, she's now pregnant, so like now she can finally go toe to toe with Lindsay in a way that she's not been able to before. And I just still feel like Danielle, at the end of the day, cannot land the damn plane in a way that she's actually prepped.
Yeah.
And Owen,
I was just gonna say, how annoyed were you with him? I was like, we've got Lindsay on one end who is doing the most, and Owen doesn't seem to understand what a reality TV show is. When he goes, a lot of questions were being asked when the cameras were up. Nobody cared when they were down. And then Gavin's like, you told us not to ask you questions.
I wrote down literally word for word, Owen, the mistake you're making is that we desperately want to know about you as you come on a show and share nothing. Owen...
Yeah. I think people seem like that we're getting to know him. I think the guys like him. I think he's like a fun guy, and he's Irish. They're usually a good time. But the mistake he made, all you had to say was, it's an active divorce.
Yeah.
I can't get into it, but all I can assure you is like Danielle was not the other woman. I know that doesn't make for great TV. That would have been my approach. Just like, I literally can't talk about it. I know everyone's interested in it. It's ongoing. I'll chat to you when everything's signed and done.
And Georgina was constantly commenting in the background, Jessica. Did you hear that?
I mean, I was cracking up. The seating arrangement, she literally is like Lindsay's like
angel.
It would have
and
been
devil.
Yvonne, but Yvonne has a husband, so like right. Nick's behind her.
Georgina's big admittal during the reunion was that she's going to start dating, which we never heard about that ex.
Yeah.
Something weird happened there, Jessica. He walked out on her in her third trimester of her second kid. He just packed up one day and walked out.
And I thought you were going to say her bigger admittal was that she thought they might rekindle.
She spends every night at his house getting their kids to bed, whether it's at her house or his house.
You know, wild. So who knows when they're all moms?
Are you gonna watch when it's the baby crew?
Give it a look. And if it's too like the Valley, and maybe it's gonna be too dark in postpartum days. I don't know.
Kristen and Luke, if it's that.
Oh my God.
You know who's not gonna be that is that Lexi and Andrea. Lexi will have I sneezed and my baby came out.
And she'll be like, and we had sex 3 weeks postpartum because we just couldn't wait to get our hands on each other.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, while filming, Lexi will be like, I'm pregnant again. This fall, she'll already be.
Yeah.
And if you have seen, though, like, you know, very scary, Danielle's baby was 10 weeks premature, born at 30 weeks.
I think he's doing okay though, right?
He's doing well, yeah. I just saw like all good stuff, and he'll be out of the NICU, I think, and home soon-ish. But yeah.
My parents tell a great story that like, because my brother and I were premature, my twin brother, and they were like living their lives when we were like in the NICU. Like they obviously came and saw us, but they didn't understand what it meant to like bring home a baby because we were in the NICU, and then they were out to dinner at their favorite Chinese restaurant having like cocktails, and the hospital call was like, time to come pick up your kids. And my dad was like, okay, we'll be there tomorrow first thing. And then the hospital was like, no, now. Like, these are your children. Now, come get them now. Like, and
that's just like Vince's best friend, Sean, and Alik's, their daughter. She's home now, but was in the NICU for a few weeks. And they overheard a conversation of them calling another couple saying, you're great news. Like, your baby can be taken home. And the woman, the wife, mom, responded, we have reservations to Nobu tonight. Because it's Miami. It's in Miami where it's at.
Oh my
And like,
God.
can you imagine? They were like, you probably should cancel that. Like, fun's over. Parenthood is beginning.
That is hilarious. Let's go on to, so since we've last spoken, Jessica, the title card intro line has come out. Any ones that stood out? Apparently everybody loves Carmela. She's the center of attention and the centerfold. I didn't realize she was going to get an orange, Jess.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know what Shannon's is. It should be like, I fall down a lot. And
I'm unstable on my feet.
I'm unstable in all aspects of my life. That's amazing.
Is it weight or is it balance? Or is it just my mental state?
Speaking of, someone wrote in because Shannon was on Watch What Happens Live and asked her about Rodrigo's claim that she was rude to him at BravoCon. And she's like, I was with my daughter the whole time. Like, I'm so sorry. I would never be rude to you. Like, I don't remember, but like if I was. And then Rodrigo responded like, well, I can't expect her to remember every nobody she meets. And then he put a martini glass.
Rodrigo he's going to have the season of his life next Southern Charm.
But with Shannon, I'm sorry, there's too much smoke to not be fired that she is a bitch to people in real life. She is so rude. I mean, that host of Love Hotel.
Which, has that ever even come out?
Yeah, I watched part of it and I lost interest.
The host, like, revealed that Shannon was, like, so rude to him at one of the parties, like the premiere party or something. And everyone kind of just was like, what? No, that can't be it. But now here we are, second person saying Shannon is so rude.
This isn't even the second. I've heard this so many other times, I feel like, about Shannon. She's horrible.
Okay, but Jessica, we've been pretty hard on OC. OC's having very high viewership. I did like a little search on this. Oh. Let's talk about Carmela quickly. So we're getting to know Carmela. I meant to Google how old she is.
I can do it right now.
I am shocked at her story in the sense of like, how old are you, girl? She was married 12.
What do you want to guess?
She's early 40s. Stop. She's our age.
Excuse me. She's 44.
Oh, okay. But
that's not our age.
So Carmela married 12 to 13 years. This is why I couldn't figure out her age.
Right.
12 to 13 years, and she's only 44.
Well, she got married at like 21 if she was a Playboy bunny. Like that was...
And he basically picked her out of the Playboy magazine, like what Leonardo DiCaprio does for Sports Illustrated. Have you heard this? He like goes through the pages and he's like, that one. I want to date that one.
Yeah. Get in touch with her, people.
She looks like a WWE wrestler. Like that's her look. Like just constantly.
Yeah.
She's she's a developer. Well, she's not. She's a house flipper.
She's a house flipper, but just luxury. So she calls it developer. Yep.
And by the way, she says in the most recent episode, like, and I sold 80 million in the last 10 years. Jessica, you know how ChatGPT is like so sympathetic and nice? Like ChatGPT is always like, you're right. I literally put that in ChatGPT to be like, is this a lot of money? 80 million in the last 10 years if you're in luxury real estate. And ChatGPT was like, that's not a lot of money. So I'm like, why would you say that on national TV? That means she's sold maybe a house a year, maybe one house a year.
Wait, that just reminds me too that Michelle in the Valley just said,
yes,
I want to do a $50 million year.
In 1 year. I wrote that down too. So I'm like, something's not making sense. And Vicky Gundelson is all over this shit. Vicky Gundelson is like,
Sniffs it out.
She sniffs it out. She's on it. So I trust that Vicky's going to uncover this. Something's not clicking.
Yeah, I can't understand. So she has multiple houses. The time they filmed in the one house, it looked humongous. They did like the pan out, you know, it almost looked like a Lisa Vanderpump up on a hill situation. And what I can't understand is like, what kind of alimony is she getting? She seems to be making a lot of money herself, but now also has a rich boyfriend. Older, rich, who has cheated on her, but she stays with. So is he funding the $35,000 rent? And oh my God, it pissed me off when she was getting drinks with Jen and Tamra and they bring up the Dior clutch and the gift and all that. She's like, I have never had more people talk about my finances. Girl, you dropped how much your rent was. You talked about, you literally went, I made 1.4 million on my first flip. Stop putting numbers in there.
Yeah.
All I could think, you should have just said, I made so much money on that first flip. I thought, I'm doing this forever. You know, like you don't have to put a number to it.
So weird. And
so
then
she brings it on herself. I can't remember anything else in my life, but I remember that she said she made 1.4 million on that first flip.
Yes,
like,
right.
Why is that in my head?
It like sticks out. Like you'll be trying to go to sleep at night. You'll be like $35,000 on that house, you know? Also, she gives me Jen vibes with her relationship to her kids where she's like talking to them about the vibrator.
No, trying to be so cool. And also major, God, that's so right. I didn't put that together, but major Jen vibes. Like Jen's son was going 100 plus miles per hour driving. And it's like, and we're laughing. Not that she didn't find it funny. I was like, I'm mad at you, but like nothing was being done. And then Carmela talking about to her kids that are like bragging about skipping school because they wanted to go tanning or whatever.
I was like,
and it's like,
what?
Stop. You can tell those kids are like being so like awkward around like the camera and they're trying to be so cool. And I'm always like cringing for them. Like
the girls who are on camera, one of them literally said, Jessica, like, can we talk about something positive? After her mom was saying, why are you not going to school? You know, it was like, what do you mean? Can we talk about something positive?
Yeah. I thought the most recent, the biggest thing was Vicky and Michael, like getting an update on.
Yeah.
I did not know, like, the two siblings are not close, and it's all Brianna's husband.
Yeah. So Vicky is actually giving us one of the more, beyond Carmela, who's new, Vicky's giving us a lot. Michael hasn't talked to Brianna in 8 years, which I tried to Google. I'm like, why hasn't he talked to her in 8 years?
Yeah.
But it's the mega stuff, right?
It's the husband. There's something, yeah.
Because think about it, 8 years is about when Trump got into office.
Yeah.
And I think that Michael might be gay.
Oh.
Which is why he lives in Spain. And by the way, Vicky has been noted as being one of the more conservative housewives out there. Like, in bad ways. Like, has been overheard saying some not kind things about the LGBTQ community. And now Real Housewives of Rhode Island, they're all supposed to be MAGA, by the way. And which everyone is turning a blind eye to. Like, which is like hypocritical thing.
No, I've seen a lot of.
Really?
People were like saying that Joellen and like Kelsey, like they were all like, they all need to be canceled. And it was like, I can't when people do that. Like, first of all, no one's talking about it on the show. Like, we don't go to.
Sure.
Okay. Heather Dubrow, she doesn't outright go to like a political fundraiser, but it's very obvious which way.
The nuance is that regardless of what you believe, you can't pull what Gretchen did. No, Gretchen wore her political opinion on her chest, and then there was also hate associated with it. And it's, to your point, the Bravo housewives can believe what they want, but the second that it appears as hate on the show is when you get canceled.
Literally, I didn't even remember that Gretchen was on last season.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, Jessica. That's why if you're Gretchen and you're watching
a lifetime ago.
Right. But if you're watching the Real Housewives of Rhode Island ladies who have liked a bunch of stuff and you're watching them get taken to task, Jessica, that is the sole reason why Gretchen was kicked off.
That's true. Yeah. She's probably like, what the hell?
So my conspiracy back to Michael is that he may be bi-curious, maybe not living the lifestyle that Vicky necessarily totally wants him to, and he's out in Spain. And Brianna is the really far side of this whole political spectrum that we have going on. And so he doesn't go see her. The other thing that Vicky brings forward is her and Don. Wasn't that kind of sad?
Yeah, she regrets ever divorcing Don. Yeah.
When somebody talks about Lake Havasu, like it gives me like nostalgia, and I've even
Yeah.
never gone because of how much those Real Housewife of OC days, like
Those days gone by.
Bass Lake, Lake Havasu, like we've never gone out there, Jessica, but I like gives me like a warm
Yeah.
feeling in my heart. This is what I took away. Vicky basically said, I don't know why I divorced him.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica.
Yeah.
And she's got a boyfriend.
Yeah, of like 4 years, didn't she say?
That makes me so sad.
I think and it's true, just like any divorce would, but it like truly changed the trajectory. Then was Brooks after that divorce, or was there another guy?
No, I mean, shortly, yeah.
I mean, damn, Vicky stays booked and busy with the men. I don't think she's like single for long.
I guess we're circling around this whole Tamra and Heather and is their friendship gonna like survive? What are your thoughts on that?
I actually agree. I agree with Tamra. I think Heather totally changes. She has a great way of like slithering out of like, she said exactly that, but she explains it like, but the context was this when you weren't there. And like, I think Tamra's just finally starting to clock, like, you constantly don't seem to like me. And I think Heather is calculated in that she kept Tamra close because Tamra can go fucking off on you. And I think Heather's like, I don't want to be a Tamra victim in her digging some shit up.
This is the one thing I'm not understanding. Like, they had a conversation that the producers like referenced Heather and Jen. They were referencing that Jen and Heather have this conversation off camera, or kind of off camera because it wasn't shown. And Heather's like, I need a friend. And I think it basically reveals that the only reason why she's nice to Tamra is because she doesn't have a great friend on the cast. And then Jen's like, I'll be your friend. And then Jen takes that whole conversation and like throws it back in Tamra's face. So that's my like read. Like, why do we see the workout classes, but we don't see like the conversation between Heather and Jen? Let's go to the Valley.
Yep. Keep it on the West Coast.
Yeah, keep it on the West Coast. So let's see. Did you see Kristen on Watch What Happens Live?
No, I didn't.
So Jessica, we're 2 days before the reunion. This reunion is going to be really interesting because this is going to be the moment that we watch how this cast, Kristen included, tries to wriggle out of all of the Danny stuff, where she sat there and was like so pro Danny and Nia. And she went on Watch What Happens Live, and she tries to basically separate Nia and Danny. And she says, I will ride for Nia, but I can't co-sign on any of Danny's actions during the season.
Good, because that was like banging my head against a wall when Kristen will never admit to Danny's shortcomings. I think Kristen just has to have an enemy at all times. So she's not willing to let go of Janet as hers, even though Janet is trying to make amends with everybody. But
so before we leave Kristen and Luke, like, what did you think of their therapy session where Luke says, you know, the zinger of a line, I didn't meet pregnant Kristen?
Very torn on it, actually, because he's being honest. Kristen sounds like she was psychotic, but it's also showing, like, if I were Kristen, I'd be going, vows are going to be for better or worse.
Right.
You saw me at worst and you're now getting cold feet. So I would have a massive hesitation, but I don't think it's that wrong that he said it. I just think they shouldn't get married, honestly. I don't.
I think they should. I just, this whole pregnant postpartum phase, and maybe it's because I want all of that grace given to me by my own husband, because I think I was a menace during postpartum and pregnancy.
There's no way you were as bad as Kristen.
I think I was a version, and I was Kristen Light. And I hope in my head that he totally just throws away that version of Lauren in his brain, and he doesn't sit there and ever like take comments I said to him during that time for real. So maybe I think that they should still attempt to get married. I think all of it, because Jessica, there's a reason that society tells us to get married before we have a kid, because you need the commitment before you go through that phase of your life.
Exactly. No, I fully agree. Luke is just very immature.
Yeah.
He has he lived like this sheltered, not even sheltered, like he's so wealthy and sheltered in that sense. Like, I just don't think he'd seen much of the world.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't know how people act and like what's realistic or expected of you.
We were joking about another friend last weekend, so I'm going to use the same joke, but he's very caveman. Like, Kristen is mad. I don't know why. Like, Luke confused. It's like,
Luke, go look for food and go fishing.
Luke make Kristen happy. Luke try. Luke sad. It's like, you gotta sit there and go, wow, that approach didn't work. Should I try something different? And he doesn't do that ever. He's just always like, this is who I am. I'm a mountain man.
No, there's that's why I don't think they should get married. I think he's dumb and immature. I'm not putting this all on how Kristen is as a pregnant person.
Right.
I just think he's showing her he won't stick through the hard stuff because he's an idiot.
What did you think of when Kristen dropped the baby's pacifier on the ground and then put it in her own mouth to clean it?
I didn't even see it.
I think, holy shit! I didn't
even notice.
I was like, no. It dropped on the ground. It was like the very beginning of like the second episode that we were recapping.
Were they in their house?
Yes, standing in their driveway driveway, and it dropped on the ground. And she put it in her mouth once, and then she looked at it, and then she put it in again, and I think she did 3 times. She put it in her mouth, and then she wiped it on her shirt, and she put it back in her baby's mouth.
Totally missed that. I must have been typing in my phone a note.
I would have just left the pacifier.
Yeah.
In your mouth is not. That one was wow.
Not helping. Yeah. Oh wow.
Lala and Nia have a coffee.
A coffee.
Coffee. And Lala basically says, like, oh, I get you now more, Nia. Like, because Nia describes how chaotic her childhood was. And then because of that chaos in her childhood, she's chosen Danny and she's going to protect Danny and the peace that her and Danny have with her life. And that's why she got in the middle of her and Lala.
That explanation only made half sense to me because the other half was, he's causing a lot of chaos.
Exactly. I mean,
he's your safe and you want to protect him, but where the F is he reciprocating that to you? So,
no.
I half was going eye roll, and I get it. She like, you would never think that was Nia's upbringing. So it is very eye-opening, and I have a little bit more empathy of how she probably reacts to something very differently than I would, because that was not my experience. Did you clock? I saw it. I purposely noticed and watched it because I saw it on the internet first. How she picks the baby out, hands up.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. This in the scene, she does it. It's with coffee with Lala. Puts the baby on her lap. They immediately put up a Adelaide, 4 months. And I was like, that was shade, because my daughter is 16 months old and I still feel weird swinging her by her arms.
Yeah, the arms. Like, and you can hear them.
And she is fucking well able, like, to take one hand and, like, swing her off a stair or something.
Yeah.
And that baby was 4 months old. Like, you could dislocate her shoulder.
Oh, yeah. And not to mention the head is flailing around too, and you don't want that. But my husband always has, like, it's like nails on a chalkboard for him when the shoulder kind of crunches
they
and
pop,
like
or they do that.
Oh yeah, and he's like, "Do you hear that?" I'm like, "That's normal. We're not like running her around, like swinging her around." But
we've been trying to like bend her arm into an outfit, and we're like, "Did we just break her arm?"
It's like you get that. Oh no, you get that worry. I was at the park the other day, and her arm and then she started crying. I'm like, "No, did it pop out?"
You want to hear more of a thing that's added anxiety? There's a boy in her class with a full arm cast. And I was like, I kind of thought they were a little rubbery still. He has a broken arm and he's not yet 2. And I'm like, oh, damn. Would I even know? Like, I feel like she falls and you're like, oh, you're fine.
I know. So let's jump to the Halloween party. This is I am such a negative human being. Like, if you're listening to this podcast, you're like, do these girls have anything nice to say? Yeah. Here's my nice thing. Britney's Halloween party.
The decorations
decorations were on point.
It got me very excited for the fall. I was like,
100%.
ooh, like spooky, the charcuterie board.
It was lovely. Kudos to Brittany.
Great.
Kudos to Brittany.
She had a fog machine.
And good drama. Like, it's like a good party. People get a little drunker. When they get a little drunker, the drama is good. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you do good party stuff. The cameraman was on Danny's ass that entire Halloween party. They're
like, if Danny's going to say he didn't drink, we have footage after footage.
They're like, there's the receipt. Jessica, I did a post on this. It was so stupid. I saw
he was around the corner.
He was like hiding behind the, like peeking out, trying to. So for those that don't watch, like the cameraman is trying to catch Danny and Nia, trying. Like you can sense the energy of the cameraman. Like, oh, is Danny drinking over there? And so they come into the kitchen, the cameraman does, and he's literally hiding behind a wall. And you can tell because half the screen is the wall.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's hilarious.
And then Nia like catches him. And then he quickly, the camera, I didn't even leave this part in the post, but the camera like jumps to like the bats on the wall, which is like B-roll of the
He's like, I was just getting footage for the party.
They're like, do. Actually, we're looking over here. I'm like, this is well done. I said it in the post, but if this was the production crew for Amanda and Wes, like that would have been, we would have caught them doing stuff, you know?
Caught that.
But
the biggest thing, of course, is the confrontation in the cabana. But can we just and I love them for it. But how obvious was it for Lala and Janet to go to said cabana when they know Danny is in there drunk?
Yeah.
Confront him because they know he's gonna slur his words. He's gonna be combative. Like they are setting him up. I am not defending because I want Danny's ass to be shown. And Lala had, like, she summed it up perfectly. She's like, Janet, he put himself on a platter and you ruined it by throwing that cup at his head. But the doink it made off the side of his head was so funny. But then did you see everyone saying that you assaulted him with that cup? And she's going, yeah, I did. So she's proving her point. You are using the legal term. Throwing something at someone is an assault.
Right.
I assaulted him. So it's almost like she's doubling down, going, that's why I'm not apologizing. What you did is the definition of a sexual assault. So that's where I don't think she owes him an apology, because it is what he did.
Sure. But it will be interesting to see what happens at the reunion, because now this cast, as Lala says, lives in the comments of everybody, and they now see what has happened. So now are we, like, what's Zach going to do? What's, what's Kristen going to do? What's Jesse going to do?
Yeah.
You know? What's Lacey, who's probably experienced the most trauma of this entire cast?
Yeah.
Like, what's she going to do? So let's talk about Jesse and Michelle, because this is oddly fiery for them in the final moment.
Forgot Jesse just looking for a fucking moment.
Okay, but did you think it was all based off of just like a minor confusion? Like, she was showing him the house and that's how Isabella met him. You know who I think actually screwed this up for them is Isabella. I think Isabella told Jesse, Jessica, I'm like in a kid and I'm like in the wrong headspace today. I'm chose violence. But Isabella was the one who told...
That 5-year-old is the fucking reason.
She's the one who told Jesse that she met Max Amini. She's not differentiating in his mind of when she met Max as Michelle's client versus as the boyfriend.
I know, but like, don't you... Jesse is so the type to then grill her. Like, where were you, Isabella? And then wouldn't you think the second she'd be like, Mommy was showing this big house, as opposed to we were at home.
Sure, right. Yeah, I agree.
And Jesse's just trying to make it into something. I bet Isabella said she met some man. Jesse knew it was at a listing appointment or whatever. And he just went, I'm using it. Because he is psycho and looking for a moment.
Yeah. The idea that he would try and take full custody on that based off of that. It's like, come on, dude. Like, you are just evil.
Yeah.
And then it spurns this oddly weird fiery fight with Jasmine and Michelle's friend.
When did Jasmine become so team Jesse?
I don't know.
Jasmine and Michelle, like, hate each other.
And it's also weird that she's so team Jesse and so anti-Danny right now. You know, it's like those feel very cut from the same cloth, those two men.
Right. That's the thing I've felt multiple times. Like, it is a pretty big cast. they will show groups together and I cannot keep track of who likes who.
Yeah, I know.
And like some of them don't make sense to me. So that's like, that was an exact example. I was like, wait, Jasmine and Jesse are buddies?
And Jasmine's like, well, he was crying. It's like, no, he wasn't. He was totally
wasn't.
fine. You're just a little drunk, Jasmine. Like, you're, again, misinterpreting the situation.
Yeah, and inserting yourself unnecessarily and getting it wrong.
Yeah, right. We've seen that before. Okay, let's hit on Next Gen NYC. I didn't realize this, but Ariana and Hudson are back together.
In real life.
Yes, Jessica.
Well, looks like she has some fun with Liam and Charlie this season before she
I'm shocked by that. I'm shocked that she hooks up with Charlie.
That is surprising. Liam, not at all. We can tell it's going in that direction. But I'm shocked Hudson took her back after that. I could see him being like, oh no, like, not those two.
I love Ariana. I was on Watch What Happens Live with Gia. It's like, how did those two girls come from such chaotic households?
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if you know this, but Ariana and Brielle, her sister, so fame hungry. They don't talk to Croy anymore.
I know.
Why?
Because it's so bad
Contentious.
with him and Croy, yeah.
Like, Brielle's getting married and Croy's not invited to the wedding even. Isn't that really sad?
It is sad. It doesn't shock me, though.
Right.
I mean, I watched Don't Be Tardy for the Party. I thought they were such a fun, like, wackadoodle family, but, like, there was love there.
Right. So Georgia is really turning out to be quite the villain of this entire TV show. She is very stuck on the fact that Charlie and Omar, her ex-boyfriend, have stolen her old club idea and are peddling around the city.
Club.
I'm going to brand everything like that moving forward, Jessica, like water.
Yeah.
Soda. Diet Coke. She then starts to see the tides turn with Charlie, that people now are kind of welcoming him back and making amends with him. And then delivers what I think is like probably one of the more shocking grenades of all time that we've ever seen on reality TV to Amira, who's transgender, that Charlie was making fun that Amira's boyfriend is a gay man. And everybody is mad at Georgia. No one is really mad at Charlie for actually saying it. They're mad at the way that Georgia delivered it, which is basically the subtext is on camera, right? Like they're mad that she said that to Amira.
You put it out there, yeah. I couldn't get over how quickly Amira forgave him and the words he used in said apology. It was, I don't remember saying it, but it sounds like something I would say.
The whole thing.
How did she not lose it on him when he said, it sounds like something I would say? So, do you think that?
So it's so, this storyline is one that is so shocking. In any other franchise, in any other celebrity reality TV franchise, Charlie would have been absolutely canceled.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And not only is he not canceled, he's like still welcomed into the group.
He slithers back in that one.
I think Amira and that boyfriend, by the way, like, can she please graduate from that boyfriend? Like, he is such a little wet blankie of a human being.
I know. They're an odd pairing. Amira is so, like, glamorous, clearly bringing home the bacon, and that guy's just like, meh, meh.
Yeah.
He could be anybody. Like, he looks like a guy we went to middle school.
So that Halloween party is like where it all goes down. So Charlie and Brooks have a big altercation finally around, basically Brooks's problem with Charlie is he does not want Charlie's brand associated with him.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want it when they Google each other that
you're on a show together. Your names are going to be linked. And I actually appreciated Ava getting involved.
Yes.
And she used Jen Shaw as a great example.
It was the most well done logic, like from that group of people. Yeah. Brooks this season has one thing going on in my mind, which is that other people are getting more famous than him because I think they're just more interesting. And then he's clearly trying to use the show to launch this brand that is not going well. Yeah, he like can't figure out a design. He's let's just say it, Brooks is no visionary. And so he's putting a bunch of pressure on himself that like he can't get this thing launched while the show is filming.
Right.
And then he's by default coming up with this excuse that like it's because Charlie's around that his stuff isn't being he's not being successful. That's what I take on Brooks.
And the part I know next to nothing about the fashion world, but I was cracking up where he goes, and now I'm going to be launching a resort line, not in the summer, but in just the middle of winter. Brooks, that's how those lines come out. They come out way before. People are doing their spring shows before the spring. So that actually sounds like the right timing. And like, that's your industry.
That's so funny, Jessica, that you caught that.
All of Gia's move out and all that.
I was just going to go there, yeah.
Lauren, I don't know if I can watch New Jersey when it comes out.
Why?
Seeing Teresa and Louis, I literally was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. I hate them so much. I might boycott New Jersey.
I know.
Sorry. I didn't need to see them on my screen. I didn't need to see Juicy Joe on the FaceTime.
Yes.
I was so over them.
Because Jessica, and it pulled me back in for a second because I did feel very bad for Gia, like not having her dad around.
Yeah, yes.
But then I immediately remembered back to what Juicy Joe was like during those times. They were not humble and hardworking people who didn't understand how to pay taxes. There was a flagrant, like, we're luxurious and we're super wealthy, and they probably sat there and tried to manipulate the tax system in some way where they didn't have to pay. And the auditors came and basically said, no, like, you got to pay. Like, you're done.
And he was a total asshole to Teresa as a husband. And didn't he make weird comments about the daughters? Like, I feel like he had some, like, no more eating, Melania, you fat ass. And, like, I remember him calling them dumb and stuff.
He was a horrible human being, Jessica. And
and
now he's painted as this, like humble, lovely dad who just doesn't get to see his daughter. Yeah. And it's like, whoa.
He was the American, like, story of coming to America. And it's like, no, he wasn't.
It's like, do not get duped. If anybody's watching this fresh, do not get duped by that.
Yeah.
Crazy. So Ava dashing her dad. That's the last kind of thing, right? The fact that she's giving her dad the money.
Her dad money, and it's just out in the open. He calls himself a Nepo dad. Like, oh my God.
Jessica, isn't he like kind of straight? Like, doesn't he have to deal with like rap artists and like try and sell people on his ideas? And he's just letting it all hang out that he takes money from his daughter? Like,
I know.
How not respectable? Isn't he trying to sell like a dream to people?
I don't even know what his gig is anymore. I don't think he has one. Like, I think it's like, do you think he's getting like $100 royalty check from appearing on In the City? And he's like, yeah, I'll FaceTime my daughter.
Let's make sure we get that bag. The thing, I always pictured him as he's constantly trying to start businesses and he's constantly trying to pitch investors to invest in his business.
Yeah.
So,
which seems like red flag, like that didn't work. Roll it over to this. It's like all like something evasion. I don't know.
Yeah, seriously.
Do you think we get more Riley? I mean, Riley just pieced out to Atlanta.
I think she knew she screwed up. With that glass throwing thing, like for those that didn't watch, she basically like got too drunk and threw a glass at one of the co-stars.
Pretended to.
Yeah, but and it was and she was the only one that was that drunk, and they were all trying to like
calm her down.
And I think she basically was, I got to go home and reset, because I think Mama Candy was like, you can't be in the headlines.
Right. Mama Candy.
Let's move to
a new thing that the Gen Zers are judging, well, us and just everyone on, is your phone lock screen.
Really? Stop. Now I'm looking at mine.
So the majority of Americans have family, kids. That's the bulk of it. Then it's like pets, a nature view, if you had a nice mountain landscape photo. But they're saying if you either have, God forbid, just the factory setting background, or you only have the one photo and you don't have like the rotating ones, you lack creativity. And funny, I tried the rotating where every 2 hours or something, and it was kind of fun for a little bit because you can program it where I only had it be my daughter popping up. So the freaking technology is creepy because it's facial recognition that they can tell in a photo that she's in.
Oh, that's weird.
and they only pick those pictures, like iPhone only does that. And I was like, no, I don't like it. And I just picked my favorite photo of her, and now it's back to stationary. I tried to be hip and creative and cool, and I didn't like it.
Because what if you got like a nude in there, and then it rotates the nude in?
Well, that's where I was like, I have her in the bath. I don't need that popping up on my phone. I've taken her freaking butt rash pictures. I don't know if that's going to be noticed.
Right. And it's like, well, this is your daughter. It's like, that's her naked.
Yeah. So we turned that off. But yeah, so just if you ever see, if the Gen Z's ever like looking at your phone, they
like
might be
peeping.
judging you. Yeah.
Mine's of my husband. And I have not like changed it to my daughter because I do feel like my daughter gets so much airtime in our household that like, I don't know why, but I think it's good to keep him in the mix. It's like my honor to him is like, okay, you get the phone.
You get to be, are you the background of his or his son?
Sonny is. So, yeah. So
it's not reciprocated.
But I think I need more reminders than maybe he does that, like, honor your husband. This is your husband. You chose to marry him, Lauren.
See, Kristen would never think of Luke that way. No. So you're ahead of Kristen, don't you worry.
Right. Conspiracy theories. So I have two quick ones. Starbucks has a bunch of baristas right now who are filming themselves with this blending powder. The weird thing is all these baristas are trying to join in this viral trend and filming themselves with this blending powder. And basically what this powder is, it's like this combination of things that you would thicken a sauce with, right? And so what you do is you put the blending powder in like your Frappuccino so it doesn't melt and become like mixed. I don't know what the right...
I know when it starts to separate.
When it starts to separate. It's trying to prevent separation of the drinks. So you're supposed to put this blending powder in so it stays thick. And the baristas are all filming themselves like manipulating this blending powder, and they're saying the blending powder is toxic. Well, it's not toxic. I ran the stuff through ChatGPT. It's like xanthan gum, it's thickeners.
Yeah, but all that shit is like known problems. Xanthan gum is horrible for humans.
Really? It's in everything, Jessica.
Right. That's the problem with our food chain.
Oh. All I know is because my mom claimed for a while that she had a allergy to xanthan gum, and she would
couldn't eat anything.
Like she would go to restaurants and they'd be like, "What? Like it's in all of our sauces. Like we cannot take that out for you." The other thing the baristas are saying, like, it burns my throat. And it's like because they have to scoop it, and the particles are going up in the air when they scoop it, and then it's hitting the back of their throat. And I was asking Claude again, like, it sounds like you don't believe me, but Claude was saying, like, well, yeah, duh, like it's dusty ass particles and it's going in the back of their throat. It's not representative of the toxicity. It's representative of dust going in the back of your throat. Yeah. So this one was but it's everywhere right now. It's like everybody's like talking about the blending powder at Starbucks.
That is different. I was wondering because when we were just at that Starbucks in Vegas, I'm not a big Starbucks goer. I'm a Dunkin' girly, but I saw their menu and it was all that like add protein to this drink. And I was wondering if it was the protein stuff they were supposed to be adding if people paid $2 extra. But they're saying it's just to make the consistency of the drink better.
Yes, right. And Jessica, I mean, that protein stuff, if you get that stuff added or you come home with like pasta that is you're eating a chemical. That tastes like a chemical. Yeah. So that's a separate issue, I'm sure. But this is like corporate put out, like, we're going to start using blending powder in drinks, because they went through a focus group, and the focus group was like, the Frappuccino gets watery. And they're like, okay, let's put this blending powder.
Because it's like blended ice and it'll start to melt. Yeah, drink it faster. I don't know what to tell you. Well, it reminds me the protein stuff. I just saw something saying, are they like lying about the amount of protein you're supposed to eat in a day? Because protein is all the rage right now. Right. It's like up. And I then saw they're saying, and we know we talk about pharmaceutical a lot, talk about like creating a problem that didn't exist before so they can solve it. They keep lowering and or hiring, whichever one you're talking about, but what a good cholesterol level is. Back in the 80s, it was this, and it's dropped so much. It's like, what do you know? You should be on a cholesterol medicine.
Right.
And it's like, well, 30 years ago, I get science can evolve and develop. That's way too sus for me. I'm going to go off the 1980s number. And if I am in that range, I'm going to consider myself healthy. And they're doing it with blood pressure. So blood pressure medication and cholesterol.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they can get you on it for life, and you need it every single day, allegedly, if your numbers are off.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I could go into that, but I do not think I will because I will be fired. But yes, there are alternatives to pharmaceuticals out there that should be considered for sure. The second conspiracy is this. It's very odd, but it's kind of interesting. So in Antarctica, there's this like chunk of ice and it's called blood falls. It literally is like this little segment of snow that's like bloody and it like drips down bloody. Apparently where the bright red is coming from is there's this ancient spring underneath whatever this blood falls is.
Yeah.
And it's it's iron. It's an iron spring. And so when the water comes up to the top of this blood falls and trickles out, it oxidizes with the air and then creates this whole bloody red look.
Okay.
But so scientists will study and say, oh, it's natural. But of course, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that is a body of a giant that is frozen and now it's thawing because global warming is happening.
Out.
And the blood, it's a biblical sign is another one, right? Like, you know, there's all these passages when the water turns to blood. Some people think it's the blood of a dragon because it's like the dragon was frozen in Antarctica and then it's coming out.
As one does.
It doesn't look like oxidized water, which in my mind would look like this like muddy brown kind of, it looks like blood, Jessica.
Yeah. No, from those photos, that's insane. Yeah.
Isn't that weird? So keep an eye on that bloody falls.
I'm just imagining all the memes that can be.
Somebody's like, well, I didn't realize this, but the earth is a woman and she's got her time of the month.
I was about to say that first postpartum period.
Right. But it's been bleeding for like 10 years. So poor Earth, if that's what she has to deal with.
Poor Mother Earth. Yes. Yeah, for a lot of reasons. Poor Mother Earth.
Yeah, but interesting. Bloody falls. So Google it. You won't be disappointed. Jessica, great talking to you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.